know, for me, like, I love the concept of being able to flip off the switch and relax, but it remains a concept. So just as long as my body's awake, I seem to just be trying to get this kind of stuff out, you know? That's what it feels like. And it feels, painting for me is a great, that is one time when my mind is quiet, because otherwise it's just constant chatter. It's just like going, so that's nice for me to be able to do. But I think that's probably true with all of us, that we just have this thing that you just have to keep, it's not peaceful, but it's just kind of who we are. I don't know, I feel like we're just kind of built that way. Do you feel like that?
I tell you, man, Dennis and I talked about it last night. You know, when we get through this thing, we become friends and everything, but similar to Joe's story, I camped out on a lot of my impulses in my life for a long time. You know, afraid to say out loud, you want to do this, or held yourself back some way or another. And the day came where I got some grace to see kind of what I was really about. And life became interesting. Like, interesting immensely. My heroes suddenly became teachers instead of people I could just admire. Everybody counts. Everything matters. You know, James Dean has this great quote where he says, everything is relevant for the actor. Everything counts. You've got to take it all in because you have to express everything. You've got to know yourself. When you wake up from being sort of slumbering through life, and like I said, it's grace that gave me some kind of passion, I'm not sleeping on it. And I'm not sleeping at all. But I want to make movies. I teach at our school. We're doing 5 plays this summer and going to Detroit to give them away to people who are broken and need it and everything. And I wake up and whatever this thing in, I feel like is planted in us by God, and I can hit the snooze button, or I can wake up and try to express something about life. You know, my heroes are insane. They're all Mediterranean. They're all, you know, Suzanne and John Cassavetes and these guys. They got excited about life. They got in contact with life, and they started doing it, and they did it tirelessly. And when you're in it, it's not exhausting. Right. It's not. There's no peace, but I can rest in the insanity of being an expressive person, glad to be alive.
Yeah.
Like,
it's that kind of thing where I feel like as an artist, and it sounds pretentious to say the word artist. It's taking a long time to say that.
Amen.
But you know, you have to have something to give away, and you have to have something to express. If all I'm doing is reading trade papers and looking at my next job and talking to agents, what material am I using to act? So I feel like when you're not acting, you have to fill yourself back up with material. So I go to a lot of museums, I see a lot of exhibitions, I read tons of history. I'm reading a book on Cleopatra right now, I'm trying to learn German. I'm reading about the Old Testament and the New Testament, just historically, I want to read about them. I tend to have 4 or 5 different things going at once. And all it's doing is trying to give me material so that when I am trying to express something, I can draw from all kinds of things. And like Jim said, you know, I think to be an artist is to be someone who's always a student. You're constantly learning, you're constantly thinking about what you need to know, and you're trying to absorb from other people. You know, being here, meeting all of you, being in this environment, seeing all your costumes, seeing your passion for doing this is inspirational for all of us. Yeah. When we come away, we kind of go, how do I take your inspiration and use that on a daily basis to keep myself fueled for the next 6 months, whatever.
If I could join in on that, your process is taking in and then showing it in a different way, very similar to what writers do, except writers do their performance totally by themselves, in a room by themselves, and they can wear whatever they want to.
At least you get to wear something.
It's very true that you have to intake before you can output, and the writers are always the worst eavesdroppers around because we're always listening to the other conversations that people are going on with, and you know, some of them are so fascinating. You want to track the person down and say, what were you talking about? Tell me the whole story. I just want to know. But people don't like that too much.
We'll take a question from the audience over there.